Welcome to a fun little minisode, you guys. These are a little special installment that we like to call "You Won't Believe This Shit," where basically we're going to tell you some stories and you won't believe this shit. These are all stories that have generally been submitted by you guys. These are fun little ones. You guys can always email us with these stories. Now, when you email us these stories, we love telling them, but just as a precursor, if you do not want us to use your name, either or the other person's name, whatever.
Was that you?
What? Oh, I didn't do anything.
Was that you?
Tell us at the top of the at the top of the paragraph,
At the tippy top.
to the tippy top, that you do not want us to use your name or change the names because we just open it and start reading it from the top. So if you tell us a story and at the bottom there's the last sentence that says, "Please do not use my name," you fucked. So anyway, Martina's got a really good story that she's going to go over today. So Martina, you want to drop that story on?
This one comes from our friend Min.
Who insists that we totally do not need psychological evaluation.
She's funny. Okay, this is called "That Time My Paternal Relatives Kidnapped My Then Boyfriend, Now Husband, and Hosted an Engagement Party We Didn't Know About Because We Weren't Engaged." I'm in. Let's do this. All right. Sorry, my nose itches. All right. I'm a professional. I got this. All right.
There you go.
When I graduated from my master's program in May of 2010, my husband and I made plans to go to Korea before I moved up to Orlando for my PhD program and to finally be with him. We'd been in a long-distance relationship for nearly 4 years. The plan was for my paternal aunt to pick us up to take us to Podunk Town, Korea, to spend 2 days with my grandmother, and then we'd head to Seoul to see everyone else who lived in a real city.
Wow.
Instead, my aunt kept us in Podunk Town for 2 days, took us to a holy mountain for another day, tried to kill us on the road that wasn't a road, that took us to my grandfather's new burial site, since my grandmother reinterred his remains so he could be closer to where she moved to. That's not creepy or morbid at all. She said that, not me. The highlight of this kidnapping...
I was going to say, damn, Martina.
I didn't say it, she did. The highlight of this kidnapping was a family gathering. My husband and I were under the impression that it would be to celebrate my grandmother's birthday. Instead, people were coming to the party and handing us money and telling us how happy they were about the news. We looked at each other and wondered, what news? Turns out, my grandmother set this gathering up to host an engagement party for us, even though we weren't engaged. Nowhere close.
I don't think you guys have a choice at this point.
So droves of family I've never met were handing us money and gifts. I mean, this doesn't sound so bad to me. I'd do a few fake engagements for this.
Fucking right.
Let's see. My grandmother was collecting all the money so that she can have it converted to US dollars later. Also to take some. It was incredibly awkward because our family kept asking us when we thought we would get married. We didn't know what to say, so we just kept it kind of vague. We're not sure yet. Min wants to settle into school before making that decision. At the end of the day, we were so exhausted and just wanted it to be over. Luckily, my aunt finally took us to my maternal grandmother's home so we could spend the rest of the time in Seoul. We wanted to leave, but we didn't even know how to get out of Podunk Town, and we still hadn't changed our currency, so we were basically at the mercy of my aunt and grandmother. Also, it would have been incredibly bad on my part if we left. That whole filial piety thing is so ingrained in the Asian culture. Damn it. But wait, there's more. On this disastrous day, my husband and I dressed for the party in clothes we had planned to wear for the birthday party. Capital letters, birthday party. I brought these
birthday party.
Yes, I brought these cute heels that matched my dress, and my husband brought a suit to wear. When my grandmother saw our outfits, she wasn't happy. 1, my dress had spaghetti straps. I'm showing too much skin, so I wear a cardigan in the middle of summer. 2, my husband's pants are too long and need to get fixed. 3, his suit jacket is too formal. He doesn't need it. 4, when I wear heels, our height difference is more apparent. So that's not good. This leads us to a side excursion to a strip mall on our way to this party. Korean strip malls are a little different and are mostly indoors. Think like an indoor flea market with booths where people sell goods out of it. So like an open air market?
Yeah.
All of a sudden I have a vision of like Aladdin.
I can show you you're fucked.
At this strip mall, we find a tailor who can hem my husband's pants. The only problem is that the tailor doesn't have a dressing room, so my husband has to strip down to his boxer briefs and sit at the storefront with a suit jacket the tailor was working on over his lap while people were walking by and pointing. While he was waiting for his pants, my aunt and grandmother took me to the shoe store, there's quotes around shoe store, to find flats, while telling me that I should be mindful about what shoes I wear around my husband because his ego may be hurt when I tower over him. I'm already 2 inches taller than him. He got over it. Also, he didn't care if I towered over him in heels because he already worked through his issues about his height.
I know, right? Yeah.
Basically, he works out like crazy to be fit. Very fit. So you're telling us he's overcompensating?
I feel like you should have picked up on that.
We find these flats that are incredibly uncomfortable because they're cheap and worse than Payless. Oh, damn. I like here's Payless gonna sponsor.
That wasn't us, Payless. That was men.
I wear these torturous shoes and hobble back to my husband, who is still waiting for his pants. He finally fully clothed, and we're about to walk out when my grandmother spots a men's clothing store and decides that husband does indeed need a jacket to go with his clothes. In we go to Ugly Sports Coats R Us. As we get closer, my grandmother gets excited. She spotted this silvery sport coat, but it's too high up. So she gets the store owner to get it down. It's worse up close. It's not just silvery, it shimmers. When he puts it on, he looks like a giant disco ball. My aunt likes it too. We try to dissuade them from buying it for him. We make up all manner of excuses, but none work. He wears the disco ball sports coat. It even crinkles as he moves in it because it feels like plastic. We get to the restaurant and it turns out to be a traditional Korean style place. What this means is that we take off our shoes and go into a private room where traditional food, normally meant for royalty, are served to us. This meant no one would have seen me towering over my husband in comfortable kitten heels. No one. Also, my family doesn't know what to say to my husband about his sports coat. They all kind of ignored it, except when he moved.
Oh my god.
Finally! Exclamation point. I had this great aunt who kind of went loony after her husband never came back from combat during the Korean War. All right, understandable.
I get that.
My grandmother took her in, and my dad and uncles grew up with her children like siblings. As she got older, she got even more loony, as one does. She wasn't invited to this gathering because she pissed my grandmother off for some reason. She heard about us coming, so she crashed the party. She came dressed in a traditional Korean wedding hanbok. Wow. She wanted us to see what it would look like since she didn't think we would ever get to experience it. It was really awkward because this geriatric lady was in something that normally newlyweds wear, except she didn't wear the chemise. I don't know how to say that word. The thing underneath the thing. Oh, I thought that was your stomach, Zach. It's tied. I was like, Zach, are you okay? We know you're not okay.
The peppers are coming.
I was like, I gotta start reading faster. We don't have a lot of time here. The clock's ticking.
Cue the 24. Beep.
So she wasn't wearing the under thingy that you're supposed to wear. So you could see right through the handbag to her undergarments. She wore this thing throughout the lunch and eventually decided to change out of it. She went into the room next to us. The waitresses tried to get her to change in the bathroom, but she didn't want to change in the bathroom. The reason why the waitresses were trying to get her to change in the bathroom was because the rooms weren't divided by a wall. Instead, they were divided by a bamboo screen and transparent sound screen. So the entire family witnessed her stripping down and changing. That was not something I ever wanted to witness, nor ever want to witness again. This wasn't the way I wanted my husband to meet my family, but this was also his first visit back to Korea since he was adopted when he was a baby. After these 4 days, we enjoyed our time in Korea, sprinkled in with other awkward episodes throughout our 2-week stay. But those are stories for another time. Hope you enjoyed my story of my crazy family.
Always.
We did. Sorry if I butchered anything.
That's good.
Oh, God. So awkward. Nothing worse than being held hostage by your family. It's like, where you gonna go? Nowhere.
What you gonna do about it? Man.
We own you.
Well, thank you, Min, for another great fucking story.
Keep them coming.
All right, guys.
How can they?
We were getting there. God.
Zach, he's sitting on your notebook. You can't tell them the email address if he's sitting on the notebook. No, you tell him. I read the story. You do the other stuff. Could you make that any louder?
Yeah. All right, guys. So again, this has been another installment of You Won't Believe This Shit. Basically, you guys send us your funny stories, your cool stories, your interesting stories, and we will try not to fuck them up. Please don't send us depressing shit because I'm gonna be completely honest with you. You know Martinez and mine shtick by now. We're gonna probably ham it up. And
send us depressing shit. I love watching Zach squirm.
no, I don't give a shit. I'm mostly saying for you guys because I don't want to.
You look like you give a shit.
I don't give a shit.
You kind of gave a shit.
I don't give a shit.
There was a shit given. I saw it.
I'm warning you that I'm going to probably make fun of it, and if it's going to hurt you, do not do that to yourself because I'm not responsible for the shit I say. So, send these stories to email at booksandbspodcast@gmail.com. Again, if it's a really kind of, tell-all tale and you want to keep names out at the top, in big-ass fucking letters, tell us not to use your name. And, hey, here's a thought. Maybe don't put the real names in the story. And, change the Jims to Toms. I don't give a shit. But put it at the top. Please don't put it at the bottom because sometimes if we just skim these, we don't get all the way to the bottom, whatever, because we don't want to ruin our reaction. We won't read all the way to the bottom, and then we'll tell your whole fucking story, and then at the S be like, P.S. Don't use my name.
Well, it's not
Shit.
live, Zach.
I know, but I don't want to have to re-record shit either because then it's not legitimate. All right. Anyway, guys, go check out booksandbspodcast@gmail.com with your submissions. I look forward to hearing those stories and reading them.
Bye.
Later.